Alright, so just a quick rundown on how to break a pig down into its 3 primals. So what I'm going to do to begin with here is I'm just going to take off these trotters and then the ears. Now I'm taking these off purely because if you've got a smoke oven at home or in a shop and you smoke them up, these are a really good treat for your dog and they keep them entertained for a few hours. So yeah, utilise every bit of it you can. Now obviously this pig is hanging off a rail, but you can also use the exact same technique if you're out in the field. The only difference being that you won't have a handsaw unless you take one with you or chuck it in the back of the ute and take it home. Now, the same technique can be used on the bench or on the ground. Is just it will be a bit easier hanging, obviously. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is take off the head. Now I'm aiming for the atlas joint. Now a pig doesn't have a neck, its head just joins straight onto its shoulders, so more or less you're going for the base of the skull there and aiming for the atlas joint. So there's the atlas joint there, and just your pork cheeks or your jowls. Now the jowls can be boned out and used in sausages or for dog food. The next step here would be to remove the shoulders, so I aim for just at the top there of the actual armpit, or alternatively if you want to look inside you can go around that 3, 4, 5 rib mark. So once I've established my cut, I will just spin the pig here on the rail and try and keep my knife as level as possible, just so that my cuts attempt to line up. It'll be the same technique on a bench once again, just to be a little bit more difficult. You may not be able to keep it as square. So I'll just take these shoulders off now with the actual handsaw. Now if you've got a tub or a friend to hold the shoulders, that'll make it a lot easier. This is only a 55 kilo pig, and you know, once they get 60 kilos plus, those shoulders do start to get a fair bit of weight in them. Alternatively, you can just chop it and let it fall, but inside of a shop you can't do that. So the next step will be just to cut down in towards the actual belly of the pork. So you start up high in the groin here and then make your way down on both sides. You'll be able to sort of flay it open a bit just to get access to the actual vertebrae at the joints there. Now the idea is to go through more or less the hip joint, which is that vertebrae there, which will line up with the top of the muscle on the legs there. So you'll start up high there and you'll cut down to that vertebrae mark on both sides, and then you'll want to keep that cut square around the back there so that you can snap off the actual barrel from the legs itself. So you'll see here that if it's marked correctly, that barrel should just snap straight off. So there you have your shoulders, your barrel and your legs all ready to hang away in our fridge for later use. So there you got your head there. You can trim out those jowls for some sausage trim and smoke your trotters and your ears for some nice pet treats. Alright, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to see further processing of pork.